2020, August 16th, 7:09 a.m. Because the fundamental aspects of the stories themselves were not changed, were not altered, those variables remain consistent from Disney to the nursery rhymes of Mother Goose through various and assorted aspects of what the Brothers Grimm wrote, comma, as well as the Brothers Grimm were not the only ones writing about those stories, comma. There's many other authors that were chronicling the alum of Versailles, period. New paragraph. This breaks down back to the aspects and associations with Versailles is actually a city of pillars. It's a swamp. It's a hundreds of buildings built on pillars, and just below the surface there's a swamp. There's an underground lake / swamp there. The lake may have partially been drained, but it's the water flow aspects are still about 5 to 10 feet under the surface, which allows for a considerably large amount of connectivity and variables to track mathematically to show that Versailles and Venice, comma, and Alba Longa, comma, and the city that was the city of pillars where the Domus Aurea sat for about 10-15 years and then was destroyed and replaced by the Colosseum, as well as the city that was where the Pantheon is now, in the lake that is where the Field of Mars is in the present. The Field of Mars was filled in and buildings were put on top, period. But the lake is still semi there because it's a marshy tributary of the Tiberus River. Period. New line. To carry forward, to connect the mathematical dots between Versailles back to Venice, back to Rome, back to Alba Longa, back to Carthage, to IWNW, Heliopolis, back to Memphis, back to Herculopolis, way back, period. That engineering is not in question because at least half of those sites still have buildings that are built on pillars, period. Now, Versailles was not the last city of pillars, obviously, by a lot. After Da Vinci knew, as a matter of absolute fact, that the Prussians were coming for Versailles. They were coming for his students. They were coming for him. They hated him more. They hated him and wanted to use him worse than the Vatican, period. And the Vatican tried to kill him at least 3 to 4 times, period. The Prussians didn't want to kill him. They wanted to control him, which didn't work. But what it did do was force him to make at least 2, if not 3 copies of Versailles in America. Fortunately, he had plenty of time to plan because from 1492 to 1497 was the invasion of Italy from the forces of France, where he was the XO of the army. Period. New paragraph. Obviously, he was the XO of the army because the battle plans were so intricately designed and carefully plotted out, and it was the French troops just about walked through the Italian troops with barely a fight. Period. Now, when the king got jealous and, in effect, butthurt, he started to command the army and ignored Leo's plans, and he lost his army, he lost his country, and he lost his life within about 18 months to 2 years. So